Welcome back to the Contractor Marketing Show. I'm your host, Matt Thibeau, and today we are joined with a fantastic guest. We're joined here with Luan the Don. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm so honored to be here, man. Thank you for having me on.
Dude, thanks for jumping on. I'm excited. Guys, in today's episode, what we're going to talk about is personal branding and just how Luan was able to do a lot of branding for his company, Deck Bros. You guys are based out in Omaha, Nebraska, right? Yeah, and we're going to talk all about Deck Bros. And then I just want to pick your brain a little bit on what you've done for the personal branding side of things. And I think that this show is going to be a bit of an eye-opener for a lot of contractors who are maybe looking to do some more branding so that they can, maybe charge more, differentiate themselves in the market, and just grow their business to a point that I think a lot of guys would look up to you for what you've been able to achieve in a very short amount of time. So what we can first do is just dive into first, like, who are you? What do you do? Where are you based? I said a little bit of it, but maybe just from you.
Uh, my name is Luan. Last name is Nguyen. It's pretty common last name in Vietnam. A lot of people call me Luan the Don, and I don't know how I get that nickname, but it's kind of stuck. Uh, I started this company, Deck Bros, right in the midst of COVID. I did a little bit of everything. I went to college a few times. Uh, did a little bit of operation, incorporate a little bit of marketing, a little bit of sales. I am trained in finance and accounting, business administration, and I saw an opportunity during COVID and not knowing anything about construction or deck building. I jumped in head first, and I got a lot of failure in the beginning, but I learned quick, and then I started to get the right people around me. And then we scale every year just to meet the market demand on deck builders here. So it's really a blessing, and I really love the journey of how we got here. So I think that's a cool story to tell. Um, but I learned deck building pretty quick. It was something that I did not try yet in college, which is
Yeah.
construction and construction management and engineering. So I think that was my calling, and then couple that with just being at the right place at the right time, right?
Awesome. Very cool. I think that's really neat how, like you were saying, you didn't really have any prior construction experience. You did say that you had like a little bit of marketing and sales experience, and you also had the finance. So it sounds like you were kind of coming into this with a little bit of some previous experience and some other things like that. Like, what were some of the previous kind of business experience that you were coming into this with?
So I was what you call a business development executive back in back in the casino. So basically, they give me a book of business, and my goal is to grow it to make bonus commission, etc., etc. So I grew that book of business. I think within 6 years I was in that position. I grew that 10 times, 10x
Oh, wow.
that business load. So I knew a little bit about direct marketing, a little bit about relationship marketing, a little bit about
Wow.
event planning, a little bit about making offer. And then before that, I was a casino operations supervisor. So I learned a lot about operation back then. I mean, it's a it's a skill that can transfer across industry,
Yeah.
right? And then obviously I learned a lot of math in school. So
Yeah.
that just kind of ties everything together.
That's really cool, man. I think a lot of contractors are kind of in the opposite, where they are craftsmen. They've kind of grew up, do like, let's say, for example, Dex, they kind of grew up around that, doing building and being a craftsman. And then they have to learn like a lot of the business stuff afterwards, right? And figuring out marketing, figuring out sales. What would you say for someone who's kind of on the flip side of that, who's trying to learn some of those skills?
Uh, I think it's the mindset, man. It's go much more than just reading out a book or taking a course or go to a seminar, things like that. You have to decide that you are a sales guy, or that you are the marketer, and you are going to take control of your business, how to generate your own money. So it's firstly it's the decision of hey, I am going to be this person versus that person, because
Yeah,
it is a necessary required step for me to grow, right? Because you can only, if you are, I think somebody say this, I don't know who say it, but if you're too busy working, you can't make money. So um sometimes what I see a lot with construction people is sometimes they too deep in the we,
yeah,
solving problem that necessarily is not problem quite yet, and then spending all their time, working on $25 tasks to or $50 tasks even, and then and and in the beginning, you wear kind of a lot of hat. You wear a marketer hat, you wear a sales hat, you wear a
yeah,
production hat, you wear a collection hat, you wear operation hat. So a lot is riding on those guys. So what my suggestion is, decide that you are going to own a business, not work in it. And second is get help. And if you are too busy doing the work, then I would do a time audit to see
yeah,
where you can run some appointment. And the only way to get to hire people is get more cash into your business, right? So it's an endless cycle, man. But I think the first year is the hardest. It'll
yeah,
get easier, but you have to make it a point that you are not doing it. You are not working in your business anymore, and sometimes that's hard because you need to complete the job to get the cash
yeah.
flow to go on to the next job. So getting out of the field is highly critical. So
Yeah. So you said you started your business in COVID. Like, take us back. Like, were you just like, starting off, did you kill it right away? Did you have like a lot of really good momentum right from the beginning? Or were there some areas of struggles in the beginning that you really had to iron out? Like maybe not knowing construction as well as you thought? Like, take us back to kind of when you first launched. What were some challenges that you had?
so I mean the challenge is it's my first business. I didn't know anything, but I know how to write an ad, and I know how to talk to people. Not necessarily how to convert, how much anything costs, and things like that. So the pricing model was pretty much, hey, I think that it's going to be take me this much amount of time at $100 an hour, so I can pay a helper $25. It was very, I would say, very caveman kind of like. I had no CRM. Everything was on paper. I found some contract on the internet. I mean, I designed my logo in Word, Excel. I didn't, but just to get something out there. And we did, we like the first 6 months, man. I broke my leg, broke my nose.
Oh, shoot.
Just and then when I break my leg, I realized that I need to go recruit some people that do this for a living, that can, because the job is getting done without me there at that point. I have found a few subcontractors. So that was kind of a breakthrough, I guess, that like, wow, I don't really have to do this. I just have to manage the people that doing it, right?
Wow.
So that was kind of a breakthrough. So I partnered up with a production guy, and then we reincorporated, and then I take care of the sales, he take care of the production, that sort of thing. So that's the reason why I recommend getting out of the field. And if you can't get out of the field, get somebody to sell for you. So you can't do both at the same time.
Yeah. So you've actually partnered with someone who's responsible on the production side, and then you're just driving marketing and sales.
Yeah, so the first he was the one that helped me complete it all the job.
Yeah.
The only one that stuck behind, that sort of thing. And then we happened to work really well together. So
Yeah. Wow, that's huge. I think what would you say for like a lot of contractors who I know personally, like they struggle with getting off the tools and becoming that sales guy or that marketing guy, or sometimes, when we're working with clients, we kind of realize that, hey, this guy's kind of more of like a craftsman and he needs to find the marketer and the salesperson to help him out. Like, they're very different skill sets. So do you think that like they should be going out looking for that partner, or do you think that someone can be that all-in-one type situation?
I think my situation is a little unique, so I can only speak for
Yeah.
myself. But if I was in the production side of thing and I want to grow anymore, grow and promote my company, my business, and things like that, I even though if I don't like to do it, I kind of have to do it so I can manage other people that does it for me, right? To be honest, I hate sales. I dislike sales, but I do it because I have to. That's what's required of me to move the business forward. So I learn sales, right? So this is one of those things where, like, if you don't learn sales and marketing, you might as well not be in business for yourself, because you will always depending on somebody else to generate business for you.
Yeah.
Now, why that? Great if you have a good partner, but you and me know within the construction industry, the marketer have a whole lot of that leverage, and then there's bad actors out there. So, and it doesn't take much to learn these things, right? It's like, go read a couple books, go to
Yeah.
a couple sales training. Uh, but it's hard because it's different. And like when I was in the casino, I didn't know anything about marketing. When I was in the operate, didn't know anything about sales. I had to learn cold calling, all that shit on the fly. It's uncomfortable, because you face with a lot of rejection and all that stuff. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and then you can convert better. Then you can teach other people how to
Yeah.
convert better, and you can actually recruit people to sell for you if you don't want to sell anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think you should definitely know just enough to be dangerous. Like every contractor should know just enough to be dangerous when it comes to marketing, so that if you are going out and hiring an agency, then you can like be able to know, oh, this work is good work or not. You know what I mean? You need to be able to know that as well.
Right. And it's hard, but if you don't want to do anything about marketing and sales, then go be a subcontractor. There's
Yeah.
money. There's money in that. Go build a relationship with couple builders, right? If you really, but the money is in sales and marketing. Is
Yes.
in
Yeah.
being a sales organization, being a marketing organization, having a good brand, reinvesting in your existing clientele, and
Yeah.
build your business up that way. Otherwise, you're always going to depend on somebody to handle your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking about branding, because we've talked about that a couple times, and I know that's something that you're really big on. First, let's just talk a little bit about what you've done with the branding of Deck Bros, because I'm looking at your site, I'm looking at everything you guys have done. You've done a really good job of being like the go-to guys for decks, right? So just talk a little bit about your strategy when it came to branding your company and kind of what your vision was and what you did. I'd love to know that.
So it start from having the name, right? So what is it that you want to do? Can you communicate it in your name? Can you so it start from naming, Deck
Yeah.
Bros is, I do decks, and there's a couple of brothers on the team, whether you related or not. It's had that family vibe feel, lay back, relax, which is exactly what I'm aiming for. The name alone. Well, I got called those guys. Their name, just elicits some kind of emotional response in them already. So that's the first thing that I thought of. Actually, we used to be Deck Row Unlimited because I was afraid that there wasn't enough deck to go around,
Yeah.
and then we dropped that within the second year. I reincorporated into Deck Pro. So the name, first of all, and second of all, is branded shirt, brand wrap truck. You also you got to show up offline as well as online, um, offline as well online, and then reviews, review and I think we miss a lot of opportunity there because review. I don't think Google limit the amount of character to where the client can write a story
Yeah.
uh, about how you have served them. And then that's why I like Google review because it can tell a story of what kind of pain they're in, how they solve their pain, and did you come back and fix the problem. So I utilize the review a lot
Yeah.
to be able to communicate our core values, our mission, our vision. So when I talk about branding, I treat personal and business as the same. So we come up with a brand identity, right, which is core value, mission, and statement, and that's a core value, mission, vision is my core value, mission, and vision.
Yes.
So it's very easy transferable over there. So when people think about branding, the logo and all that shit that people talk about, that's just looks.
Yeah.
That's just the aesthetic of like a brand, right? But really, the thing that matters the most is the brand behavior. How are you behaving? Are you behaving in alignment with your core value, in alignment with your mission? Is every interaction that you have with your client represent that? So the goal is um, my goal is to always make other people talk about us when we're not in the room.
Mm,
So you can't really measure that, but it's basically having a really good client experience, really good flow of proactive communication, and really good at asking for review and referrals.
yeah.
Um, so it's just some basics thing, man. It's not something that like nobody had ever say before. It's just we are really good at doing the basics,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
think a lot of contractors, when they hear people talking about, oh, creating values and things like this, a mission for the company, they do like a lot of copycatting. So they'll kind of just look at what other people say, like, oh, integrity, family values, blah, blah, blah. But those may or may not be the values that they actually have.
Yeah.
So if someone's listening to this right now and they're like, okay, like how would I start going about creating the mission values and like all that stuff, like do you have any kind of advice for someone listening to that if they wanted to start creating that?
I think that's a good book. It's kind of complicated, but either unfuck your business or Traction by Gino Wickman is a good one to come up with the core value. Basically, it's a set of decision to guide your company. Is it on brand or off brand?
Yeah.
Is it on brand? Is it on brand for us to not go back and respond to callback in a timely manner? No, that's off brand.
Yeah.
When callback come in, we got to respond to that. That's on brand,
Yeah.
right? Because it follow integrity, right? So it's just the decision making tool
Yeah.
for the whole team because it takes a while to build a good brand. It's basically brand is just reputation, time awareness. So the first piece is you gotta get your reputation right, and the second piece awareness. So what we do is we don't do any complicated branding campaign or anything like that. We just keep in touch with our ex-client, um, and then we send them a little nice thing every now and again, and we put them on a nurturing email sequences to ask for referrals,
Yeah.
and to make sure that there's not any problem that come up, and if they come up, we can come back and we can come back and fix the problem. So I think a lot of people that they're missing. That's a missing element is after the job done, it's like
Yeah.
you don't know that client anymore. But I I will tell you that they are your past client or your current client is the greatest source of leads, and lead and marketing for you. If you can get them, so the key is to get them to talk about you everywhere they go. And how do we accomplish that is I've been doing this since I was like 17. You say nice things to people, you thank them for the work that they given you, and then you send them appreciation gift, right?
Mm.
Without asking anything in return. So now that's what it does is activate law of reciprocity, right?
Yeah.
So now that they feel like they have to do something nice for me. So what's the nicest thing to do for that guy? Well, refer him more deck people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how we are able to drive our cost of acquisition
Yeah.
down very very low in compared to a newer company, right? If a company is like 10 years, 20 years in the game, they almost don't have any. They can just not do any marketing. They still be able to bring in revenue because of the brand equity that they have built up over the years.
Yeah.
Uh, but for a company that less than 4 years old, our CAC ratio is really low because we know the importance of bringing the lead in. That's just one time, right? So say, Matt, you generate a lead for me. I sign Mary up, and that appointment costs around 1,000 to set, right? But then Mary happened to live in a circle, right?
Yeah.
That have six of their neighbor all around, see me doing work there, see my phone number, and I go talk to all two of them more. They call the office, set two more appointment, and then we ended up closing one out of two. So
Yeah.
now all of a sudden that $1,000 cost of acquisition for Mary become 500
Yeah.
because now you should make a list shit two ways. Okay. And now after that job and her referral done, a gift go out, a gift go out. Wow, this guy is so nice, la 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 la. In the Facebook community, hey, who did you use for a deck builder around here? I need my decks replaced. Now I got two people will go on that deck bro. So that's two free brand impression
Yeah.
that I generated. Now that couple that with being top of mind, and then instead of two, I had 300 people that I sent out gift to. So I don't have to go out and yell my name. Other
Yeah.
people would do it for me.
Yeah.
And that's the best marketing when other people are doing it for you. Instead, because it's more believable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So is that something that you are constantly thinking about in your strategy is like, okay, maybe I'll take, a little bit of a loss on this initial job, but I know that there's some potential for, some a bigger payoff in the back end. Is that something you're constantly doing? I remember you were telling me about how you'll actually go out for like a small repair with the intention of knowing, okay, this can turn into something bigger. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we go see repair lead that have potential to be um, had the potential to be a full replacement later because we have the capacity to go see and convert those leads because a lot of time the repair is really a replacement. They just don't know it yet, and they don't know it until they talk to an expert. So now we're going to make a decision based on a 10-year period of any project, and then we're going to lay down all the costs, the ROI, and everything, and let the client make a qualified decision for themselves. And most of the time, the psychology is nobody want to do repair too small, too
Yeah.
small. But a smaller chunk is easier to chew on. Usually, you can get paid right away with a higher margin, and that's a lead for future replacement, right?
Yeah.
And that's a positive review. That's still a yard sign that you can
Yeah.
utilize, and that's still maybe he's in a good neighborhood. You can knock about 5 houses around that to see if anybody else needed any work. So I treat lead on a grand scale thing. They're like gold. So I treat every lead very carefully, and
Yeah.
I think that's what's missing in the construction industry. When I came in, I'm like, you disqualify people based on price, but you don't
Yeah.
even have the time to show you that you worth that much. I mean, is that if that's the environment I play in, all you gotta do is collect leads and you fast and serve with people fast, and you'll be ahead of the game. I know it sounds simple, but it is really that simple. It's just people just think that there is other complicated process out there. It's
Yeah.
not. It's about getting somebody in your ecosystem, you know, increase their likelihood of coming back again. Maybe they come back for a pergola, which I had that happen,
Yeah.
and then increase the likelihood of them referring other people again because it's free, right? Word of mouth is free. It's
Yeah.
a parabolic relationship. So if you can do those two things, and all of a sudden, a 10% marketing cost become a 2.5% marketing cost because you can make the lead.
Yes.
Uh,
It goes further. Yeah.
yeah, and then and if you does the branding right, and like I say, if you have a shit product, you have a shit product.
Yeah.
You gotta be better. Your product gotta be referable. You know,
Yeah.
so that's a must. You gotta have a good products, and then make sure that people remember who you are. That's so key because I only do decks, and we're adding another vertical concrete right now. But if if you're doing a few things, roofing, siding, and windows, I mean, sell siding to all your window guys.
Yeah.
Sell roofing to, there's cost selling that can happen if you have a
Yeah.
database right. So you can add product category. You can do a lot of things on the back end. Is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple different mistakes that a lot of contractors make. Would you say though that like one of the main ones is what you were talking about, how they'll disqualify a lot of leads like right up front? Are there any other mistakes that you would really advise contractors to avoid?
I think if they can get the speed to lead right, their
Mm,
sales will double. Like, cause there's a guy out there like me that I pick up the phone right away. I go see that person right away.
yeah.
And then most people are afraid of being the first. I'm not afraid of being the first, because chances are I'm gonna try to take them off market right there. So I think the biggest problem is sales, man. People are afraid of the rejection, afraid of being told no, doesn't have a pricing model that will give them the confidence that they
Mhm.
need to be able to deliver the price right on the spot. And if they can't sell a design, so they don't get paid for their work of putting together a proposal. So they ended up in this catch 22, right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing that is that I find that it's not so much a sales process, right? It's about confident in your number, confident in your
Yeah.
sales process, confident in your company. And if and most contractor, they don't know how to price their stuff. They don't have a repeatable pricing model that they can just plug in a couple variable and come up with the price. So therefore, if they don't have that, they don't have the confidence. They don't have the confidence to stay and spend a couple hours revealing selling people pretty much to figure out their problem, solving their problem, solving their pain, and build a gap just so you can close them, and then make an offer. When obviously they just want to go there, take up the measurement, 5 minute and dip, and and that's if you if you sell exterior and you can't even get inside, that's when you lose to guys like me because I will always sit at the table,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah, that's a common issue that we have is that a lot of guys will just like email over estimates. They don't put in that extra time to like build that relationship like you're talking about. And exactly like what you were saying is as soon as we start coaching them to like, hey, just spend a little bit of time, like try and sit at the table, like that's when they start seeing the breakthroughs and such. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, the key is sales training, right? The key is being able to put yourself in that uncomfortable situation, execute the script, execute the plan, reframe the situation. Because sales is a dance. It's not really yes or no. It's a dance, right?
Yeah.
So having that skill is I think is required to go to another level, right? Conversion, I call it conversion,
Yeah.
is can you generate a lead on your own? Can you convert a lead on your own?
Yeah.
So then you have confidence of like, okay, if I hire this guy and he doesn't work out as a marketer, I can still make my own shit at work, and
Yeah.
I can go hire another one.
Yeah.
Same thing with salespeople too. So yeah, but people find comfort in the known. They don't find comfort in the unknown. So
Yeah.
if you never if you never sell, uh, if you never did a sale, say 60,000 one cold close, if you never execute something like that, and it's gonna feel real uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
a lot of my guys, even the guy that I hire now is 50, 60, 40,000, and some of them are done in the first meeting, um, and then and then that's and then the third thing is people don't put their ego aside,
Right.
because that's the way they have done it for so long, and it worked until a certain extent. They just don't want to change, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've been pricing this way for forever, you know. I go get them a ballpark price, this and that.
Yeah.
They're not my client. They're tired
Yeah.
kicker.
Yeah.
They're tired kicker. If they don't like my price, just save me another hour. Yes, you save an hour of time, but you just probably, if you do that a lot, you probably piss away up 80% of your clients, your
Yeah.
future client, right? There's many times where we have a misalignment in prior impression and maybe what repair need to be done. I show up and maybe their neighbor had a deck that was done bigger than his, that was done 22,000, but my price came out to be 30,000. And so where's the discrepancy? But you have to be able to go in the home and convert those type of leads
Yeah.
that have I call it a negative price impression, that you can flip to your price impression, explain why you have that value,
Yeah.
and tie them down to the decision. So and it's man, it's not an easy skill to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here. I'm not sitting here say I know a little bit of sales, but I don't know sales like I know sales now.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here and saying that it's an easy skill to learn, and if you go to sales training, you're gonna be a master right away. No, it's required grit, tenacity, and you just have to want it, man. Like I don't know how else to explain it to people. You have to want it.
Yeah.
You have to want it. If this guy can do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
That's the mindset that everybody should get into, because the on the flip side is you can do just a job or two a week and be cool, and wait for the phone to ring, and
Yeah.
you get what you get, right?
Yeah, for sure. What's kind of like, just to close things off here, is like, what kind of role would you say that branding plays in that dance of the sales there? Because it's like, the branding is kind of like you get them, and then the sales is obviously you have to close it. So, like, what would you say is kind of the split and the role for the branding compared to the sales part for it, you know?
I think I think if you have good branding, you might not need a really qualified sales process, right? I just took sales training last year, so but I sold over 5-6 million before that. So advanced sale process probably is not needed for everybody, but I think the branding, the products, right? Having a good
Mhm.
product, having good reviews, having good story in review, be able to showcase those wins to your prospect,
Yeah,
and being able to talk about your value, talk about your mission, talk about your story, talk about why you do what you do, and figure out why people want what they want, and tie it to the emotional, tie an emotional connection to the result, because they're not buying a deck, they're buying the feeling that the gathering with people on the deck gives them. So know what you're selling, right? So I think branding trumps everything, man. I would go out here and say that your reputation is important, protects it, and always promote yourself anywhere and everywhere you go. And if I would pick one thing to do, is branding and repeats and referrals, because those are free. Um, and get I guess some, when I say sales training, it's just a method of converting people, is right, but for a small guy it could change their whole life, like you know as well I know, if people just pick up twice as much a phone call that they get, automatically they're going to sell twice as much the deal,
yeah,
without changing their sales prowess, without changing anything.
yeah,
So all that speed to lead, all that is on brand for me. On brand for me. Picking up the phone right away, going to see people right away, serving people right away. If you can just do a few basic steps right, you will see an increase in business. Speed to lead, right? If you respond within 5 minutes, they still have that emotional thing in their head. It either hurt them so bad, or they want it so bad they had to put in some number, call you right then and there, is when you can catch them at the best. And if you have a good first appointment setting call, the sales will go easier. But you have to catch people right away. It's think of it like, if you don't pick that phone up, Lawrence will. And when I pick that phone up, either they tell me to fuck off, or I'm signing them up. You
I
know,
love it.
so there's guy out there in your market that clean houses
Yeah,
like that. So the point of the matter is, okay, maybe you don't want to get out of production, right? You picking whether which one should you do this and that. Well, okay, just work 20 hour extra and use that 20 hour extra to do sales and marketing and whatever. You still do your production. It's fine. If you like that, that's fine. You can't find anybody to help you. That's fine. But dedicate some time to learn how this shit
yeah,
works, to
yeah,
learn how to actually convert a client, to learn how to actually build a brand, to learn how to sell. And and the thing is, sales is like, when you get it, it's nice because your conversion rate is going to go up, your ticket price is going to go up. You can sell a correct margin, and it's is I think there's three things that matter in business: is math, is knowing how to do math, know how to convert people, and knowing how to work with people.
Very well said. Love it, man. Very well said.
Yeah, because you what you do is math, right? Your conversion rate, all that stuff's math. It's mathematic.
Yeah.
So if you play the percentage, you always win. You can always improve the percentage, but take the percentage that you are at right now and just work off of that.
Yes. Dude, very, very valuable information. We're coming at the end here. So I want to thank you for jumping on the show today and just sharing like everything that you've learned. A lot of really good golden nuggets. If someone wants to just get in touch with you or, follow you or anything like that, like where's the best place that they can reach out to you or just follow some of your stuff?
So my website is luanthedon.com. It's got most of my stuff on there.
Okay.
And then you can go listen to my podcast. It's Get Biz, Do Biz, Get Pay. And I have a business. I also have a real estate holding company. So we're doing a lot of things, a lot of things outside of construction, some well building stuff that I'm not ready to talk about yet. But basically, if you need help with some just basics, accountability, basic stuff, just to get you started, because this thing at a level under $3 million, just get lead, get some sale, produce the work, collect the check, and after that, then we can bring in structure and things like that. At the early stage, I think the job is you have to decide that you want it. That's it, right? And so you can reach out to me on there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And then if you want to, I have a podcast as well that interview entrepreneur that wanting to elevate to that CEO role and the journey that we experience throughout the journey. The heartbreak, the headache, all that stuff. So I talk about that on my podcast a lot, and you guys are welcome to sign up, by the way. So
awesome, man. Cool. I'll put the links in the description below so they can check that out. But thanks a lot, man. And yeah.